So I just announced that the newest Timothy Roberts Cymbals artist is the great drummer Mike Clark. Last week we did the announcement video, talked about the brand new series called the Roots series that we're coming out with. And I first encountered Mike back in college, but I met him and really got to talk to him more in 2020. He came down to North Carolina and played a gig with Charlie Hunter. They did a masterclass, and I got to sit in with Charlie Hunter, and Mike Clark is in the background, and I'm playing, trying not to be nervous and trying not to sound terrible, which I might clip that video in just so you guys could see it. It was kind of a crazy moment for me, given that he's one of my favorite drummers. So a few years ago, he encountered my cymbals for the first time, and he played them, really liked them. Tobias got us in touch, and we started talking, and that led us to the place we're at now, where he is now endorsing my cymbal company. I'm over the moon about it. I'm pinching myself all the time, and I've been diving into these sounds that he was after, the sounds in his head, and we've developed a series together. Now, before he left my shop, I filmed kind of a reaction video about my time with him, and so what follows is reflections on my time with Mike Clark. Hope you enjoy. I've been stewing on this whole week and what it's meant for me as a maker, also as a drummer. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Mike, have been for going on 15 years now when I first encountered him at my university. And one of the things that I've been struck with in spending time with Mike this whole week is just how steeped in the history this guy is. I kind of said that when I was talking to him, but our conversations driving around and going up to Boone and all that, he was sharing story after story of his time working with some of the greatest jazz musicians of all time. He knew a lot of the greatest drummers of all time. He was colleagues with them. His thing was really centered around humility. I really noticed that he wasn't posturing all that much or really trying to make people around him know that he was the real deal, even though he clearly is, and his resume shows that, but he doesn't exude that. He doesn't put that out into the world. He comes at it from a point of being humble that he can be a part of this jazz lineage and this music. Now, from the production side, as a cymbal maker, this really challenged me. This week was very, very challenging because I was having to come at the cymbals in a different way. I did a ton of prep work before he came, had a bunch of cymbals made or almost finished, and a lot of different specs, types of bells, types of profiles. And I learned within the first day that he was here that a lot of those weren't gonna work because he had a very specific need for the kind of sounds. And he got me to sit down and play on a lot of the cymbals. Like he would sit down and play and go, oh, that's cool. And he'd go, you sit down, you play. And he would just walk around. He would go out of the room here. You kind of hear it from a distance, come in and move around, because he really cared more about how the cymbals sound to the band members and to the people listening than he did even what he heard. Obviously, he cared about what he heard, and he needed to get a certain sense of how the cymbal would work for him, but he was more focused on the band, and he would say, yeah, that's a cool cymbal, that's got a vibe, but man, the bass player would not like that, or oh, that would cause problems with the piano player. His ears are phenomenal, and he knows what he needs to hear. And from a very technical standpoint, what I ended up having to do is take a lot of the cymbals that I had made and hammer them much taller. He was looking for this kind of ta sound to the stick. He wanted it to feel full and round, and he wanted the articulation to be super clear. I noticed also he plays Innovative Percussion 5A Vintage Series, and these sticks, they bring out a pretty full sound in the cymbal, and he also would play up closer to the bell. You know, I have typically made my cymbals to work best in, you know, just below halfway on the bow of the cymbal. He would play a little bit above halfway. So a lot of the areas in some of my normal cymbals that would kind of open up and resonate and hum. That was the area he needed strength. So after the first day, I went in and did hours and hours of hammering to get a lot of the models just raised up taller in this section. And what I've noticed about this is a couple things. First off, when there is strength in this band, kind of right around here, maybe say like an inch below the bell to about halfway on the cymbal, when there's strength there, the rest kind of follows. You could actually have kind of a hook or a little bit of a dip down here, but with the strength being up taller on the cymbal, it's going to hold together better. That was something he said all the time, was like, the cymbal needs to hold together. He would like a certain cymbal, but say it's a little bit too much for me. It's too much cymbal. It needs to hold together better. So a lot of the processes involved overhammering and really kind of creating a sort of a dry sound, very high profiles, and it gave the kind of definition he needs for the music that he plays. And it really is the center point for this whole series that we're developing now. All in all, I'm super stoked about this project. I feel like my cymbal making will never be the same after this week. And yeah, big thanks to Mike Clark. He's the man. Thank you, Mike, for coming to the shop and for gracing us with your music. Mike truly is a legend in the music industry and an innovator on the drums. Obviously, he's probably most well known for playing with Herbie Hancock and developing a linear style of drumming, funk drumming, but he is a jazz drummer at heart, and he carries that lineage within him, and it's really phenomenal to see. So next, we have the launch of his series, the first production run of the Mike Clark Roots series. And in the next video, we're gonna dive super deep into these sounds, what makes them sound the way that they do, what was my approach in manufacturing them. So please comment below, let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Until next time, I'm Timothy Roberts. Thanks for watching.